These tutorials will step you through some of the exercises in Chapter 9, which is collision detection and asteroids. We're going to be going back to our asteroids project. And the first thing that they want you to do is just experiment with this. So please load Greenfoot Asteroids 1 and run the environment. Figure out what causes a fire to occur. Figure out what happens if you place an explosion in the world or if you place a proton wave in the world. Pause the video right now and take a few minutes to experiment with the Asteroids 1 scenario. By now, you should have figured out that the rocket doesn't move. Nothing happens when an asteroid collides with the rocket. You basically cannot lose the game because the rocket never dies. The explosion does make a noise. Scoreboard really doesn't do anything. Proton wave doesn't do anything except put a proton wave on the screen. And so we are going to work towards implementing these things. Before we do all of that, we're going to make the background more aesthetically pleasing, and we are going to paint stars on the background. So the first thing that they want us to do is investigate the constructor of the space class and find the lines of code that draw the background. And the lines of code that create the background are these three. Please comment them out, compile, and see what that does in your code. Comment them out, compile, and see what the result is. Pause your computer now if you'd like to try that on your own. If not, we can take a look. And basically, we just have this white background. So when we use the background fill, it fills the entire background with whatever color we chose. We want to keep a black background, so I'm going to uncomment that code and recompile. Every time you make a change like this, you want to go ahead and recompile, make sure that it did what you thought it should do, because if you test more frequent like that, you're going to run into fewer errors at the end. Our textbook wants us then to take a look at the documentation for Greenfoot class and drawing an oval, fill oval, and also documentation for the color class. Using the help menu, you can go to the Greenfoot class documentation. I've already pulled it up so it's available, and it looks like this for Greenfoot image class. And they're wanting us to look at draw oval, draw rectangle, fill oval. This is going to be the one that we're going to end up using, is fill oval. And they also wanted us to look at the Java color class. I sometimes find it easiest just to actually type in Java, and then we will do color class in order to get to the API. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to search in the API until you get used to it. And so I just do a Google search for Java AWT or Java color class and wait for that to pull up. The results of our search look something like this, and it's usually the first option. And you can always double check that to make sure it's coming from docs.oracle.com, because that's where all the Java API is. And they're wanting you just to look at all the different colors that you have available here. And so we have a wide variety of colors that we can choose from. Next, they want us to study or take a look at the space class. And we are going to do the following exercises, 9:10 through 9:13. In the space class, we're going to create a new method named create stars. And the method should have one parameter of type integer, and we should name that parameter num. I have already started this, so I'll just talk you through while you type it. So we created a create stars method. It should be public void create stars. It has an integer parameter named number, and then the rest of the class is going to be empty for right now. You should also write a comment for that class. So create stars will place stars in the background, And you should also have a comment for what this parameter does. So number will indicate how many stars to create. That's the beginning of our class to create stars. The next thing that we want to look at is when should we create the stars? And basically you want to create the stars when the whole world is created. So that's going to be in our constructor. So back up here in the space constructor, after we fill the background, we are going to go ahead and create the stars. So we're going to call create stars. And your textbook has you creating 300 stars to start. You can decide how many you want to create, but for now the textbook has us creating 300. I'm going to pause or quit this video right now, and then we're going to pick up with the next video. Will take us through writing the next code for the actual create stars method.